Ladies, gentlemen, bodies of water, we are the Alchemy Lab. I am finally back as Cass, and my name is Lee.
I'm Carl, and I'm going to be Graccus again.
And I'm Matt, and I am a multitude of weird and wonderful characters. And also I'm the DM.
And they want to know whether you're naked from the waist down.
I'm always naked from the waist down.
He always is. He always is. He's a saucy boy. He's a saucy boy.
Why would he?
I'm wearing suspenders today.
Oh, nice.
Actually.
And that's how we'll start this, ladies and gentlemen, bodies of water. Yes, here we are, Streets of Mihre, new case. Well, not necessarily a case yet. I've just got back. You know, I've got to come back to fighting his strength, or maybe he's just going to go back in. I don't know. Cass does.
Well, I mean, let's have a quick recap. Yeah. So, Cass was Cass-napped at the end of Hunter and the Hunted, and so we had the search. We had the search for Mr. Valentine, and Graccus and his new pal Travok got him back from the clutches of mysterious figures in Tier 8 of Mihre, in an old temple to the Raven Queen, filled with traps which you mostly avoided.
But one of which we didn't, and Matt was very, very cross about.
One of the ones you avoided, I was so angry you avoided it. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm over it.
He's over it because he's going to launch it on us again.
Oh yeah, he's going to wait for a few episodes and then it's.
And as soon as I see it coming, I'm stepping on all the things.
This looks familiar.
Tread.
or we just let Graccus go through a door first, because Graccus was just killing through traps left, right, and centre.
Hey, he's a big meat.
Took us about half an hour to go. I checked the room.
I wrench open the hatch.
Look,
with little to no care for my own safety.
Look, Graccus doesn't do thinking good. All right, he's not doing. Yeah. Graccus hits problem. That is what we've established throughout everything.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Traps are just a moment's hesitation before we go past them.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know exactly how Cass feels about all this, because it's obviously been quite an experience. So let's find out. We open today in the Devilish Library. Downstairs, it's Rembrandt seems to have kind of closed the doors off and closed the place off for a little bit, under the guise of refurbing. Refurbing in this case just means he's like moving a couple of tables around to put up the notion, but really what he wants is for you guys to kind of just be in the bar and have a moment. What are you doing?
I am drinking and smoking.
And I am joining in.
Knock has been basically attached to your leg, Cassius, for quite a while. He's pretty much been following you when you go up to the bar, been chattering to you excitedly. Or, well, I mean, contextually, he thinks excitedly. Obviously, you can't really do tones.
No.
But
unless he's heard one. Maybe he's going through his excited catalogue.
He could very well be. It's pretty much just nonsense. Yeah. It's like sales pitches in excited voices. You'll never hear about the deal that I've just seen. 2 for 1 on sofa cushions.
The sentiment is there. That's the main thing.
50% off dark pots and pans. We'll die to have this offer.
I mean,
no. Remember what that was about.
Good sir. All right, but you haven't really talked much. You've just been sort of quiet contemplation and quiet kind of understanding.
So tell me about your trip, Graccus.
It was eventful.
Did I get my throat slit? I did, didn't I?
No,
But then
the
it got-
guy got his throat slit, but you got stabbed.
I got stabbed. Okay, so my voice is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Eventful. I met an old friend, someone I haven't seen in years. Former member of my tribe, a hunter by the name of Surak. But most importantly, I managed to get back to what I needed to. Remembered the old ways. Forgot the sounds and smells of Mihre. It was a nice break, if I'm honest.
And while I'm eternally grateful you're back, this is you've come away from the sounds and smells of nature back to the sounds and smells of, well, this.
Yeah. Let's hope never to go down and deteriorate anytime soon. Let's leave it at that.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, I'm well aware that Mihre is known for throwing the most shitty thing it can do at you at the same time, so...
But they seem to be escalating, Graccus.
Any idea who they are? I looked in when I was trying to find her, I tried to get some information, but no one really knew the players at the top.
Well, the players at the top are hard to find. I imagine it was the players at the top who did this. But all I heard was code names and code words. There was the benefactor, the wine. I can't remember what you said, Matt.
The big guy, I think, was one of them.
The benefactor, the big guy. It makes sense that they're still coming, but the best way to hide is to just go into a crowd. If they're still coming, I would have assumed that they thought I'd left. I'd assumed that they think I'd definitely leave now, which means I need to stay.
The only problem is we have a habit of making a lot of noise.
Yes.
Well, I made you a promise before. It rings true now. Anything happens, anyone comes for you. You got my sword. I'm at your back always.
And my axe.
Yeah, knock goes, and you have my bow.
You've never seen a bow like this before. I appreciate it, both of you. Thank you. But that case, I think, will take more time. There is much at work with that, and well, we can talk about it more at some point. But that is
Whenever you're ready.
it is a long way off, and it is a long way up as well.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
But we have several more things to attend to. I remember when you were gone, the Ziare family sent a letter. It's upstairs. Nothing of
Okay.
urgency. I believe they just want to pay their gratitude, I imagine.
Let's hope so. We could do with some good news for a change. One thing for my trip. The obelisk from the tower, from the floating island. One where we found
I know
Yeah.
now.
The wildlife on Kalgargarak was becoming corrupted by a similar thing. Raptors were made even more monstrous. Hell, I stared down a face of a T-Rex covered in shards of extra arms. We killed it. And from what I can tell, before we left, they managed to find the cursed thing and destroy it. But doesn't fill me with confidence in 2 very short periods of time. Very old and dangerous things start appearing in the world again.
You do know how to talk dirty to me, Graccus.
If one thing is never going to change with you, Mr. Valentine, it'll be your lust for secrets.
And he does that. He licks his lips almost subconsciously at this. It's like, secrets, yes.
I figure some things will never change. Why try and fight them?
Indeed. Well, another case for another time, perhaps. Or maybe it will find us. Everything else seems to.
Everything else seems to.
On that note, there is a sharp knock at the door. And after a couple of seconds of waiting, you hear, Rembrandt, we all know that you're not actually doing anything in there, so open the bloody door.
Rembrandt, if it's Charon, it's fine.
I'll go to open the door. This man has helped me. His men have helped me.
You open the door, and in front of you is Charon and Ender, actually. Charon gives you a big beaming smile. I thought you'd be back.
They can't keep me away that long. Not with that man over there and your men as well. I appreciate it.
He gives you a firm handshake. Claps you on the shoulder.
I appreciate it, Charon. I truly do. Graccus told me what you and your men did.
Yeah, well, least we could do. Least we could do after all you've done for us. Ender sort of nods to you. Yes, it's good to see you. Very good indeed.
And you, sir. There's something on with them, isn't there? I don't know what sexuality Cass is at all. Maybe this is yet another secret that he wants to find out.
I was going to say it's another secret. So Rembrandt and Ender come into the devilish library,
and so does Charon, because you said Rembrandt.
Yes, Charon and Ender enter the devilish library, and they pull up a couple of seats at your table. Charon looks at you, Graccus. Hey, that's some fine work you did, getting him back. Hope there wasn't too much trouble for you.
It was certainly trouble, but it's always worth it. I've lost too many friends in this fucking city to lose another one.
Aye, the best things tend to come from the worst trouble, I find. Absolutely a unfortunate phrase to live by, but often an accurate one.
Especially here in Mihre. The shit continues to fall.
Talking of shit falling, I believe you're both familiar with Rivka, the...
We are indeed, yes.
Well, you told a couple of lads to watch out for him, and we did. Thought you ought to know he never made it out of the market square.
Shame.
That does not surprise me.
No, you're dealing with some rather difficult people, Mr. Valentine.
Any word on the tabaxi?
None. He's at least out of the tier, as far as we know. He may have even left the city.
He's smiling, did.
He's a slippery one. But no one is that slippery for long.
No, I found that out the hard way.
Indeed. Aye, and we've been thinking about that, actually. Been thinking about that rather strongly. You seem to be a marked man. That's
am.
not good.
Yes, I am.
That's not good for... It's not good for you, obviously. But with the work you've been doing, that's not good for the people in Tier 7 either. And frankly, the longer you're alive, the better it'll be for everyone here. So, and he reaches down into his sort of pocket and puts a necklace on the table. So it's a silver chain with a it's like a very simple kind of mask brooch on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got two sort of very, very small kind of obsidian black eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, it's like an entirely blank face.
Mm-hmm.
That there, I had a few contacts make that up. Basically, you wear it and you hold it and concentrate, and you'll be able to change your form into that of another person around your size and stature, let's say.
I could have used this when I lived back up in, well, higher. This would have been very, very interesting.
Keep in mind that it's not perfect. It's an illusion, basically.
Use it around stupid people. I understand.
Perhaps use it in situations where you're not likely to be clapped on the back or have to wear a hat or something. Otherwise, it will pass through the top of your head.
I see. Well, and how does this work? You focus on it, and I would like to use it now.
So, meta-wise,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be casting the spell Disguise Self.
Mm-hmm.
So your form, basically what I said, your form will change. All right.
That's what I want to do.
Okay. So you hold it and you concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't much indication from you. Like, you don't feel the change.
Mm-hmm.
But Graccus, you do double take. Because across the table, you're basically staring at a mirror image of yourself.
Ah, so it has worked.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Graccus, and I cut people in two.
Hello, Graccus.
I mean,
It's like a Bisectors Anonymous.
hey, it's not a problem, okay?
It's absolutely not a problem. Oftentimes it's a solution.
Exactly. Thank you, Charon. Cass, do you mind turning back? It's quite uncomfortable for me.
As you wish.
Now, you may have noticed that your voice didn't change there.
I did, yes.
So, obviously, if you transform your appearance into someone that you're trying to fool knows, then, you may have to affect their voice somewhat, but
I understand.
it'll at least fool fool people for a while. And also worth noting that you have limited uses of this.
So I can't turn into Graccus every hour of every day. That's unfortunate.
No, I'm afraid not. No. You can do it 3 times in a day, but not every hour of every day.
Thank you very much, Charon, Linda. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Should at least keep you relatively safe for a while.
Well, and if it doesn't, I have my my bisector with me.
Always do.
Indeed.
Any
As
other
for you-
news, Charon?
Well, I'm afraid not. It's been very quiet. No leads on the people who took you. Although if there's any information you can give, we could narrow things down.
They were all bought. Some from inside Mihre, some from outside Mihre. Well, I knew one of their names, but he is, I'm sure you couldn't gather. He is no
In 2
longer with
pieces?
us. I believe so. I was in and out of consciousness, but I could hear the frustration in my partner's voice. So I imagine he is no more.
Any idea what they wanted with you?
They were trying to take me somewhere else. I'm not sure where. And I'm not sure by who. I have my suspicions of who and my suspicions of where, but nothing concrete, nothing to confirm.
Now that is fascinating. You seem to have kept your ears open while in captivity.
If one thing is true of Cass, if there's knowledge to be heard and found, you'd be get down sure he's aware of it, at least partially.
Regardless of what they would say up top of Mihre, I am a damn good archivist. I am very good at finding secrets and keeping them. But it appears these were trained in the same ways. They were also very good at keeping their secrets, at least for anyone who was not in the know of their code. This was not Feed's count. This was just a facsimile thereof.
Most interesting.
I know when I used to run higher up, we'll say more covert members of the gang, he had a dialect that sounded like gibberish to me, but it made sense to them.
I understand thieves can't crack us.
No, this wasn't Kant. I knew one of them. They explained it to me. They made it appeal like a lot of the more private sections of each family's entourages tended to have their own preferred method of communication. It all, to an outsider, it would sound like gibberish, probably.
No, it was nothing like that.
Okay.
This was plain common. They just had code words and were very tight-lipped on where and whom wanted to take me.
I suppose I did run with a much more overtly criminal outfit back in the higher families, so probably a bit more willing for subterfuge, I guess.
They were well trained, but well paid and well structured in this. This had a lot of money behind it.
Well, gentlemen, I think that I'll let you get on with whatever you have planned for your day.
Two names, Charon.
Aye.
You may not find anything of them immediately, but the benefactor and the big man. This is very high up in the tiers. We're tier 2 here. The big man and the benefactor will most certainly not be down here. However, some of the bottom feeders and the ne'er-do-wells down here may have seen contracts from them or something like that. Just keep your ear out, and if you find anyone who's speaking of them, let me know.
Maybe that agency where the Tabaxi claim to work might be a good place to look. If you're going to try and hide contract like this in plain sight, why not do it in a place you're going to pick up a contract anyway?
Interesting.
Perhaps so. We'll head back to the the house. Incidentally, you've both separately made quite the impression on the ladies upstairs. So, if you're planning on swinging by,
From the sexy party before I was taken.
that's the one.
Graccus, he had another sexy party when you were trying to find me. Is that
Yeah.
why you took so long?
I did not dally. I may have looked, but I did not touch.
He
Oh, well.
really didn't dally. It's surprising how quick he got you back.
I can become very singularly focused when I need to.
Aye. Well,
We'll bear
the
that in
offer
mind.
is on the table.
We'll bear that in mind, Sharon.
Certainly will. Let's be honest, Mihre often gives reason to wish for a pleasant escape every now and then.
Don't I know it? I'll keep my ears open and have my boys do the same.
Many thanks.
Graccus, I believe we had a word, didn't we, before you went off on your journey to get Mr. Valentine back.
We did.
He just sort of scratches his ear, just sort of taps it a little bit. Make a history check.
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
I remember exactly what it is.
Mine's gone on this one. And one of them-
We've lost a lot of blood. It's fine.
Drip,
It's
drip.
still getting it back.
Drip, 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 drip.
So 18.
Okay, so you remember before you went to the sewers. Before you went to see Rivka in the market.
There's a leaky faucet, isn't there?
Indeed, you remember him saying that he thought one of his guys was
Leaking.
compromised. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Charon. A busy night. But yeah, I remember. Anything further?
No, but I think it's something to update Mr. Valentine on.
I'll let him know.
We will be on our way, gentlemen. Have a pleasant day. Rest up. The tier's going to need you. And he sweeps from the devilish library, with Enda close behind.
I must say, Graccus, when I said that you took so long, they must have spoken about you a few hours. They knew you'd got back. And from the time that they knew you got back to when you came, very quick.
You've been gone 2 weeks, Cass. I didn't know you were gone.
No, I'm saying you got there very quick, sir.
I made damn sure of it. As soon as I knew you were missing, I had one mission.
And I think you got there in the nick of time. They were very quickly about to take me away. I would have hazarded a guess at maybe an hour or two left. And, well, There we are. But Charon's ear problem.
He suspects there's a leak in his organization.
Well, there's a leak in any good organization, but
Yeah, that's what I think you'd say that, but Charon is concerned.
okay.
You need to bear in mind, at the moment, he doesn't have any real detail to work from.
Well, we've been given an invitation to one of his sexy parties.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. From what I gathered when talking to him, he doesn't think Boise is on that list, but he can't be certain because
What about Ender? He said nothing in his presence.
he was unsure. Ender is Ender.
Ender is a very tricky man, yes.
Exactly.
But he didn't say anything in his presence. That's interesting.
My guess is,
I believe he's only shared it with you then, Graccus.
and now you.
Hmm.
I guess in his eyes, we are separate enough that we're not can't be leaking the information that's getting out.
Regardless of my of what is said about me, that is the last thing that I would do. Well, another lead in another case.
Yep. Perhaps when we decide to start taking work again, maybe Charon should be worth looking into earlier, sooner rather than later.
Well, let's think. What do we have? We have an opium epidemic, which doesn't seem to be of any note, really, and it is tier 7, so let the people...
One drug, you'll get another one back in a few days.
Yes, and this one seems very clean, so I'd like to potentially keep it there.
Better than a lot of the crap that's come this way before.
We have the cult. Has there been...
Not that I'm aware of, as far as I didn't think to ask Charon. Again, I had more pressing concerns, but...
Rembrandt,
Mhm.
have you heard anything in your comings and goings from here of the cult of the Great Old One? Is that what it was called?
The unknown one, wasn't it?
I think it was the old one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was, sorry.
Found some pamphlets before my vacation away from here, and just wondering.
Do you have any of them handy?
Nix. Actually, I don't even need to say that. I can communicate telepathically with him.
Mm-hmm. Nix, he says in his mind.
Yeah, I go,
Yes, Mr. Valentine.
can you grab the pamphlet of the Great Old One? It's on my table on the left. Well, it was on the left.
Right away, Mr. Valentine. Oh, Mr. Foebreaker still has your spyglass.
He does he? Thank you for giving it to him.
You're welcome. I'll be right back.
Yes, I will have one handy. The door opens.
Mm-hmm. There's the sound of rustling papers.
Did you learn something while I was away?
That's Nix. I believe you two both met.
Your spyglass. Okay. Speaking of which, I take it out of my pouch and put it on the table.
Thank you very much, sir.
Apologies.
I hope it helped.
It did. It did.
The pamphlet floats down the stairs, seemingly of its own accord.
That's going to take some getting used to.
Nix, could you show yourself, please?
Of course. And Nix poofs into existence. What does Nix look like?
Nix is a sprite. So he is a tiny, diminutive figure. It looks a bit like a really small elf. But quite nice, sort of brocade like shirt, leggings, little turned up shoes, sort of a jet. It almost looks like a flame on his head, like a light blue, like Carl's t-shirt actually, but not in a mix, in a flame, and sort of grey eyes.
He gives a little bow.
Thank you very much, Nix.
Before we introduce Nix.
Nix is my familiar.
Okay then. I guess we both learned some tricks while we had a bit of a break.
A trick that I've known for some time, but well, I seem to have remembered. It's lovely to have Nix back. I'd say he was on vacation for a while.
Understandable, given the circumstances, I suspect.
Yes, this is the pamphlet here, Rembrandt.
All right, let's have a look at this. I've seen these around. Where'd you get it?
On one of our cases.
Yeah, I've seen them up around where I live.
In increasing frequency, or?
They started popping up. Couple of months ago, I guess. They started popping up. Not heard much out of these folks, but apparently they've been recruiting.
That's not a good sign.
Okay.
I know they're not the only group of their sort, so it could be a bad sign. It could be a sign of the times.
I mean, equally, I could be part of a cult, Graccus, of the Seeker. I've not heard much of the Great Old One.
Same.
But maybe she was a bad egg. Let's hope, anyway. But something to keep an eye on. So we have the Lover's Haze, we have the cult, we have the introduction with the Ziare family, which I've been waiting for. And, well, now we have a leaky tap.
Yeah. Should we try and take it nice and easy with the first one back in and maybe go for the Ziare family? And let's just pray it doesn't get more complicated than a nice introduction.
Well, we could do that or the sexy party.
Why not do both? Meeting in the day, party at night.
A busy day, but a meaningful one. Yes, I think.
I mean, I'm sure the latter half will be much, much more enjoyable than the early half for me, but...
Well, we are going quite far up. You remember how those beauties look up there.
This is true.
Well, to getting back to work.
Indeed. To get back to work.
And on that note,
Dope.
we will finish episode 1 of this as yet untitled case. Excellent. Good hustle, gentlemen. I'm going to have to RP. I'm going to have to voice so many women of so many sultry women at this sexy party.
Sultry, sexy ladies.
I floated the sexy party, and
It's your own fault, Matt.
it's my own fault. It's my own fault. Well,
Your own fault. You don't give two, young virile men a sexy party and they go, let's rid the world of crime and drugs.
well, there we go.
There we are.
It's my own fault. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
You're definitely going to want to like, comment, share, and subscribe for the next one.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.